Yeah, we live 2 houses down from that.
You guys all set?
Yes, sir.
We got hot mics here, guys. Okay,
Rock and roll.
you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope, that's fine. Okay, we'll bring this Public Works Committee meeting to order. Everybody showed up. Thank you. With the holidays around, right? In this affidavit, it was posted as required by state law. We'll stand for a moment of silent prayer and pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Did everybody have a chance to review the meeting minutes? And are there any changes or updates required? Everybody's okay with them? Okay, we'll leave them as posted. Excuse me. Moving on to item 3, discussion or possible action, transit ridership data. God, we love charts around here, don't we?
Okay.
There we go. You're
Are
good.
there any questions on the report?
Not really question, just a statement. It seems like this year, and again, I don't know if it was because of the increase to the adult section and fares, but it just seems like we're just slightly behind last year, right? Every month we're just slightly behind by like 100 trips or something.
Yeah, let's see. So the average is slightly higher than last year. The monthly average, I guess we'll see where December is in the next report where that lands.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because I mean, I was looking at month by month, but there are a couple months where it just stepped up a little bit in the summer. But so it is actually ahead then.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you look at the trips billed per hour, that's static versus last year, but there's fewer hours.
Sure.
Yeah, that does show that there's an increase, that actually we've just become more efficient.
Right.
There's fewer hours, but the same number.
Yeah, good point.
So
Good point. That's the only question I have. Anybody else have any questions on this? Did you have any other comments to make?
Yeah, none here.
None here? All right, transit quarterly report, item B.
Okay, so this is part of the initiatives let's see. So determining the best possible operation structure for the shared ride taxi, amending policies and procedures, and altering the transit service. Like I said in a previous meeting, that we've analyzed weekend data, ridership. We've gone through a RFP, a competitive process for a new provider next year. That'll be a 2-year base contract, so it'll be a static price for the 2 years for the contract rate per hour. Let's see here. We also reduced the contract hours for next year based on current ridership data. So as far as public outreach, there's notices on the there have been notices on the website for the reduction in contract hours, as well as the new provider transition for next year. That's also been in all the taxis and has been, I believe it's on our Facebook. There was a hiring event that was on those. And so the notice is on our website as well as in all the taxis.
And I noticed the committee members last time asked, is the transition going okay? Is that still the case? We're
Yeah, I have
transitioning over okay?
Yeah, arranging the dates for the vehicle transition, arranging the phone number to switch to the new provider January 1st. They are, like I said, they held a hiring event. They're looking to working with the current drivers who are familiar with the system and familiar with the current clientele.
Any other questions? Everybody look
For
away.
Charlie, or for Scott. So these are the EOS initiatives here. So these are for 24, 25. I have the same question with regard to the IT, which is that basically, most of the projects on here are completed or on time, and then they end in, 25. So the question I have is, will we be seeing a 26, 27 EOS initiative? And I think Mr. Schmidt's gonna.
Yes, he's gonna chime in.
In some format, yes. I'm sure most of you recall that you had a retreat with new strategic priorities that were done. So a lot of those will be coming forward. It might not be quarterly reports. It might be, depending on the status, it might be monthly, or maybe it goes 4 months or something like that. But you'll see it might be the same exact format that you see today, but it might be something kind of completely different a little bit. But I'm sure everybody's kind of nodding their heads. You had that retreat. You had new strategic priorities.
I don't
So,
remember
remember that?
exactly
Yep,
with regard to
yep,
our,
yep.
the particular.
with
corner of the
your
world.
with the priorities that the board and the county executive went through. So you'll be seeing probably different ones coming after the first of the year. A lot of these technically ended near December of 2025. So we want to make sure we're getting those to you now that they're complete or in that phase, and then start new ones coming shortly thereafter. That's not to say work hasn't been started on those other ones. I assure you it has been, but we don't want to overlap too many of them and get you confused.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Scott. Thank you, Charlie.
Okay. Is that all we have for that topic?
Yeah, yep, that's great.
You're good? All right, moving right along. IT quarterly report.
All right,
How's
good evening.
Joe today?
We're doing great.
Awesome.
All right. I just want to say happy 1 year to Eric Mesa, and
Yeah, yep. Okay.
thank you for allowing me to bring him on. He's helped me accomplish a lot of this. You see
Okay.
a lot of yellow in our packet,
A lot of completed.
a
That's
lot of
awesome.
completed, and then some, like I say, some stuff in here. We talked about the move to Office 365. That's going to be an ongoing year after year project. It's just a massive project. One big win for us this year was we were able to migrate everyone. We have an H drive, which is basically your home drive for your personal files. We did migrate that to Office 365, so that's a big win. Now the next portion is the group shared folders. That we're gonna go department by department and kind of work with them individually and as a group to migrate that stuff. That's gonna be a long time because we have a lot of integrations with that stuff. But that's going well. Shared services are going well. We're working on our final 2. We have the town of Trenton and the town of Hartford. We've ordered equipment for most of these, actually both of them. So we're just waiting for equipment to arrive at those towns. We'll get in there, we'll get it configured, and we'll start transferring over the services from their old service provider over to us, and we'll take over that ownership. So that's going really well. That will continue on into next year. I think I seen February as some of the equipment drop-off dates for some of those. So it's going to be a while, but essentially we're just waiting for equipment and for licensing. And then the security vulnerability management software, we're about 95% there. We have the software in place, and Eric and I are just kind of doing final touches on how we want to manage that. So that's going to be complete within the next probably week or 2. But that's going really well. Just to speak to a couple of the items for the next biennial, in your strategic priorities, we talk about security for the IT shared services. So we are working on a plan for that. That's going to be brought up probably next year sometime, as well as an IT consortium. So we're working on a plan for that. And then Eric's also working with the BPA office for artificial intelligence, kind of what a policy looks like and how that looks like in Washington County. But that's all I have.
It looks like you're keeping up pretty well with all the townships and stuff, with all the initiatives of working with them, right?
Oh,
I
yeah,
see only 2 more that are on here to be done yet, right?
correct.
Trenton and Hartford.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. And just to know, we did pause on accepting more townships because of staffing right now.
Oh, yeah.
So we were at the peak. And right now, for the most part, all the villages and towns that we do support right now, it's kind of in maintenance mode. So we're up, monthly updating servers and
Sure.
checking hardware and doing the help desk support for them. A couple of them have projects coming up, like new servers. I think Village of Kewaskum is due for a new server, something like that. But we'll work through them with those projects. But yeah, those are kind of in maintenance mode and now we're supporting them.
Okay, sounds good. Any questions from the committee?
I said one thing. How you doing, Joel? With the, what are you thinking, or I guess give me some feedback on what you're thinking to do with AI implementation. I was gonna ask that and then you kind of touched on it a little bit. Because I think everyone knows it's moving very fast. So what do you foresee in the next year with trying to implement AI after you get the rest of these set up here? You have Trenton and Hartford knockout.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, AI it's a huge topic right now. I think the first step for us is policy and procedure, and training. So, what is a good use of AI? What's a bad use of AI? What's a violation of like HIPAA? Kind of getting all that stuff together, and then do training. That's one big thing that's on Eric's list is training users how to use and Eric will be working with Elijah from the BPA office, but how to use AI, what's good uses of AI. We are testing an IT Copilot, which is Microsoft's AI. So we're looking at all the different possibilities. And right now it's just in the very first stages is, hey, we got to get a framework around this first, and then we'll develop it from there.
In regards to that, and you said policies and procedures. Will any of those policies come before us? And I'm just, there's so much out there. It's just my curiosity, I guess. I just kind of wondering, will that stuff eventually come before us? Will there be things implemented around AI? Because I'm just.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. He's got to move around today.
I would say because it's so new that certainly some policies might come to you. There might be some policies that are like internal of like our human services ADRC going, don't upload that HIPAA data to, stuff like that, where I don't think it really needs to go to you, right? Obviously the county attorney's gonna be involved in all those policies as well. And it'd be up to him to decide what comes all the way to the board, what's more of an internal policy, what needs to come to the board. If there's any kind of wiggle room, stuff like that, like stuff like the HIPAA stuff, that's we can consider that kind of common sense, right? But we want to make sure we have policies in place to make sure someone does that it's done appropriately if it has to be done at all. So it's changing fast, as was mentioned earlier. So it's really about those policies coming to the county attorney, and he will then make the decision what needs to go all the way to the either committee or all the way to the board. Because which ones maybe.
Very good at.
Mm-hmm.
Consulting with me.
Yeah.
Trying to look at what they do.
Yeah, it'll be definitely a discussion between the chair and the county attorney, and we would then provide that input, and then they would make that determination.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sure that'll be evolving for years to come too.
Right. And that'll
It's
be
not a
definitely
one and done anymore, right?
correct. That'll definitely be evolving.
Yeah, you bet. Any other questions? See none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We move on to item D, Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan Updates. That's a tongue twister. And this is after the fact, right?
Yes, it's, you can also call it the PTASP.
Yeah.
On
Oh, there we go. That would have
Yeah.
saved me a lot of tongue twisting.
yeah. Let's see. So, let's see. On July 19th, 2018, FTA published the Federal Transportation Agency Safety Plan, or PTASP, final rule, which requires certain operators of public transportation systems that receive federal funds under FTA's urbanized area formula grants to develop safety plans that include the processes and procedures to implement safety management systems. On November 25th, 2020, the Washington County Public Works Committee approved the Washington County Transit PTASP. Each subsequent update then requires approval from the Public Works Committee. So last year, FTA issued General Directive 24-1, stating that transit agencies subject to FTA's PTASP must conduct a safety risk assessment to identify risk mitigations or strategies to provide information to FTA on how they are assessing, mitigating, and monitoring the safety risk associated with assaults on transit workers. So that safety risk assessment was included in the last update in the appendices of the PTASP. affected appendices were the hazard assessment log and the prioritized safety risk log. So FDA provided a list of assault risk mitigation tools and requests a brief explanation of planned, in progress, or completed case of said tools. So of the tools listed, Washington County Transit is already utilizing 6 out of the 10. De-escalation training, operating policies and procedures, audio video surveillance, covert overt emergency alarms, automatic vehicle location, and communication protocols. So a seventh tool was proposed in the last year in the PTASP update for creating signage informing riders of video surveillance and assault penalties. So this PTASP is just updating the dates, updating management information. They have a new safety director at STS and confirming current security measures taken by our service provider. So this assessment is of this year, so it's with our current provider. Next year, it'll be a new assessment, a lot of updated information with the new provider, Go Right Way.
Okay, before we ask any questions, do I need to take a motion and a second on this? And I'll need a motion and a second from the committee.
Make a motion.
Supervisor McCulick, second by Supervisor Stewart. Now we can keep talking.
This is an annual thing that's come back for the committee as
Yeah.
well. And as you can see, as Charlie mentioned earlier, we are changing service providers. So we're literally updating in December for this past year. And then we're going to make some modifications at this time again next year to get that up. In your packet, you saw we did redline it to make it a little bit easier to see what the actual changes were. And you can tell it's not significant changes by any stretch of imagination besides the cameras that was approved previously.
Any questions? Seeing none, all approved, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 2025 resolution 2060 transportation network. Motion and a second again, right? I'll do this first this time. I'll need a motion and a second for this. Supervisor Hartwig, second by Supervisor Vispalik. And Josh has the floor.
Good afternoon. So as you recall, at the November meeting, we presented the 2060 plan. I know we got that plan to you as a committee to review on pretty short notice, so
Yep.
we wanted to give you an extra month to fully digest it. We had a lot of good discussion as we walked through that plan last month. With that being said, any questions about the plan? I do have a few things that I would like to highlight. We made a few edits in the last month since this committee saw it. And I
Okay.
want to be clear and upfront on just a few little tweaks that we made before it's final.
Is it possible to just give us the cliff notes on that quick?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you're looking at the plan,
Mhm.
if you care to scroll through, first one on page 9, couple of little wording things and it is specified in the report as well. But
Yeah,
just for
if you
your-
go to the second page of the report, the top of the second page is a paragraph of the corrections that were made. And I want to point out, most of them were just corrections, not really changing or altering the plan. Just we found some errors in the program.
minor edits or language clarification. So first one, I'll just go in order as they are in the plan. On page 9, second paragraph, I believe it's line 6. We just added the phrase, increase the highway portion of sales tax, just for clarification. 2 lines below that, we changed the year from 2043 to 2044. That was just a minor correction there. Onto page 10, at the very bottom, the bottom 2 bullets there, that did previously say 4.5 million. We did various scenarios on our funding analysis there, and that was just carried in incorrectly. That's 4.0 instead of 4.5. Similar one here down the road, I'll get to that one. Jumping ahead to page 21, map 5, there's just an error. We had the wrong map shown for that one. We had an arterial map, which I believe is the same one as map 4 was in there in the last draft. Now we corrected that, plugging in the correct map, showing collectors. Next one is on page 28, table 2. I just plugged in the wrong table there. I actually did the same table as it was on page 26. So the table that was in the previous draft showed years 2026 through 2030. The heading is correct for 2031 to 35, but now the correct table is plugged into that for that 5-year window. Page 30 at the bottom, that's table 3 there. Again, we had that 4.5 million as a shortfall. We corrected that in the red there towards the bottom of the page to 4.0 million. And then last but not least, page 40, the very last table or second last table in the plan. Just to clarify, I know when we talked about the end sum at the year 2060, I know as we talked about the plan at the meeting, we were in a surplus, and that was just shown incorrectly with the use of parentheses on the table. So just to clarify, and then that is indeed a surplus. It was shown incorrectly as a shortfall, the way that parentheses were used in the last draft, but everything still is, the number's still the same.
Depending on inflation too, it could be a shortfall, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
It's quite a few years out yet.
Yes, and this is yes, a lot of moving parts here.
Yes.
A lot of variables to come, I'm sure. So those are the changes that we made. Any questions on the changes or anything else in the plan?
No, I'm good. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to point out in the resolution, I think it's very important to notice. And of course, when this goes to the county board, most likely in February, we'll make sure that they're aware of that too. The last whereas clause, it does say that the recommendation set forth in the plan is subject to the annual operating budget appropriation and further action or discussion by the Public Works Committee. I want to make sure you're not pulling a Governor Evers and making something that's literally set in stone for 400 years. That it is very important to notice that, yes, it's a plan to know, obviously the infrastructure that is the roadway is a big, liability as well, right? Financial responsibility and liability on the county to know what you have going forward.
Mhm.
And I want to thank the county board chair at one of our meetings to allow us to bring this back to the full county board again. It has been a long time since it's been to the county board in a resolution form. But again, you're approving the plan that is definitely subject to change. If you look at the last plan, there was changes. There will be changes coming in this one at some point, guaranteed. But that you're not budgeting and saying, yep, we're going to fund this fully for the next 35 years. That is written right in your resolution. So
That's good. I don't believe we have that much power anyway, right?
you take as much power as you can get sometimes.
I wouldn't
So,
even,
but-
I wouldn't even want to push it.
Yes,
So,
but thank you for the consideration of this.
yeah, you bet. No, we appreciate it because it gives us a foresight in what's coming down the road. And I think it's been serving us well for the last, I don't know, when did this start?
2017, 2018 is
Something like that. When I first got on the board, we were already partially into it already, the first one. So
Mhm.
I think it's a great thing. And I wish the townships and stuff would adopt all these as well. I think it would help
Working on
them
that.
too. Right? And there you go. Any questions from the committee? Seeing none, I need to take a vote, right? Since
So a vote.
Yes.
it is a vote. Yeah, okay, we'll take a vote. All approve, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. I just wasn't sure if it was just a thumbs up or an actual vote, so.
The resolution you want to vote.
Yep, you bet. All right, thank you. Next meeting is January 15th, 2026, and this meeting is adjourned. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, John.
It's like obvious, but I still have to question. Do I need a vote or no?
When you have your